Okay, Alim McNiell said to a reporter that he woke up feeling different for the Giants game, and he was such a big part of what the Lions were able to do against the Giants. And here's a prime example: 3rd and 7, passing down, we're able to rush 4, and you get pressure from an interior lineman. It doesn't get any better. I mean, this is just so hard for the offense to handle. So you see Alim McNeil there. This guard puts his hand out. Alim says, "Don't do that." And before Daniel Jones can even think about what he wants to do, Alim McNeil is in the backfield. So this changes kind of everything for the Lions because we know Hutchinson is solid. We know Kaminsky. We know that we've got a couple other DNs that are playing well, gonna be okay, right? That we feel good about kind of our defensive ends. But that defensive lineman or defensive tackle position with Bugs, he's not a pass rusher. That's fine. You've got some other Pascal has been playing. He hasn't been able to get in there as much. But when you have an interior lineman able to get through, just look at our defense here in the secondary. Crossers are you can't get through there. This guy's going to be open that's coming across, but it's too late. You've got coverage against the back. You've got guys in this middle kind of mesh area that you can't get through because it's too late. You've got a guy in your face right up the middle. If you're a quarterback, that's the number one thing. It's the shortest line to the quarterback is a straight line right up the middle versus the edge rushers going around. So Alim McNeil, given his wave, which I appreciate. Let's see it one more time. This is just one play, but it just showed what he was doing all day again in the run game. Because I think what we forget is as a defensive lineman, if you can just hold your ground, that's really good too. Then linebackers can come in. But when you're actually the one getting penetration and getting through and pushing the offensive line back, what a difference it makes. And I think what this tells me is a couple of things. Number one, it's huge for our defense when you can rush 4 in critical spots. When you especially when you've been giving up yards, you get them to a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, and you desperately need to get off the field. That's when you can rush 4, drop everybody else. Huge advantage. So it changes our defense big time. And then the second thing is it really shows just another example. Brad Holmes. Okay. Oh, right. You you haven't hit or whatever on Levi, and that hurts. But remember, we took Levi in Brad Holmes' first draft, and then the next pick we take this Alim McNeil defensive lineman. It's like, well, didn't we just take one? I don't really like that. Oh, we used to play baseball. Okay, I guess that's cool. I don't know. And I just didn't. I didn't. You're like, all right, whatever. And now you see it. Boom. This guy's coming in, doing big time things. And he set a PFF record for interior linemen. He had the most pressures for a 310, whatever his weight is, 310 plus guy in the history of PFF. So he's doing really good things. He's always been solid. I mean, since the day he got here, I think we all would agree he's been very solid. But that was next level stuff that you start putting those guys around because we keep saying we don't have a star on defense. Who's our defensive star, especially when we're going through that 5-game losing streak? Can somebody step up? Who's our guy? Who's the guy that can do something? And so all of a sudden you see, okay, Kirby Joseph in the secondary, Jerry Jacobs in the secondary, Okuda in the secondary. I kind of like that. Linebackers, we don't talk about enough about Anzalone. That guy's solid, okay? Is he a star? No, but he's a solid linebacker, and you've got Malcolm Rodriguez, a rookie. There's another star in the making, potentially. Then defensive lineman, Alim McNeil. What if your defensive tackle is a star? I mean, that would be huge. And I was just gonna say, like, Aaron Donald, you don't even want to start saying that, but that's the type of impact you could have if you're a defensive tackle getting this type of pressure. And then, you look at Aiden Hutchinson, of course. So now all of a sudden, instead of having 0 stars on defense, now all of a sudden you have the potential, not saying they're there yet, of 5 stars. And again, not there yet, but all of a sudden you start seeing the path because a couple weeks ago, it was abysmal on the defensive side of the ball. We were giving up a league worst in points, yardage. Now, aside from the Bears game, where we gave up 30, we still played well in that. We've given up 9 to the Packers and then 12 to the Giants or whatever. And you just get stops when you need to, and you're playing well against teams that have good areas, right? Aaron Rodgers, hello, he can throw. Saquon Barkley. And then even with Justin Fields, gave up a couple big ones, but overall, in general, stayed in there and then making big plays. And then offensively, we're doing what we kind of envisioned. Or how did the Lions win? Well, we need to play just kind of tough, scrappy defense. Again, we don't have stars. We're not expected to get strip sacks and be doing, something like that. We just need to play hard, play physical, be timely, get some turnovers when we can. You saw it this week, Aiden Hutchinson, then the big fumble there when we were in a zone, wide receiver never saw it, fumble. And offensively, run the ball and just stay patient, take our shots when we can. Goff needs you on third downs, a couple big third down throws. He had that one to St. Brown there towards the end, about 10 minutes to go when they were making a little something. Hit that throw, 10-minute mark, take another 3 minutes off, and the Lions win comfortably. So you're starting to see some players. And again, this gets highlighted when you're winning. When you're losing, nothing looks good. Nobody looks good. Nothing looks good, especially when you're losing over and over. But when you win a couple games and then you win this third game in a row, Alim McNiell stands out, gets right to the quarterback. Now, all of a sudden, you start to notice things that maybe you didn't. And now you go into a Thanksgiving game when Ford Field's going to be rocking and you have a chance to win 4 in a row. And then if you do win 4 in a row, now you're for real in the conversation for playoffs. And it becomes really fun. And I always say it, this Thanksgiving game needs to mean something, and it does. So somehow, because just a couple weeks ago, the season's over. We're talking about Goff, who are we going to get to replace Goff. Now, heads up to, or, congrats to Goff, because I was done with him. Now, hey, Goff, you keep winning. Hello. You can stick around, and he's hitting these timely throws. And that's the big thing for me right now is you don't need to be perfect, but man, when it's 3rd and 7 with 8 minutes to go in the 4th, I just feel like Ben Johnson's calling a good play, which is nice, by the way. Better than Jim Bob Cooter, where you're just like, I know he's going to call a good play here, and I need you, Goff, to hit it. And he did last week against the Giants. And then when we don't, or we get in that situation where it's 4th and 4, Dan Campbell, play the long game. And he's mentioned that a couple times about playing the long game or opponents playing the long game. And I think that's kind of his new thing. And it should be play the long game. Let's not get out of it 3 minutes into the game. Kick the field goal. Play the long game. I love it. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on Alim McNiell and the rest of the team. I couldn't help it. I just started talking about the rest of the team, but Alim McNiell changing things around just by playing so well, leading to wins. We'll see all of you on the next one.